Good morning to our lecturer. This morning, our group will present about the assignment language and literacy. In our introduction, language and literacy are major domain of early childhood development. They involve of the skill used to communicate with others through languages, as well as the ability to write and read. An example of language and literacy in childhood learning is to speak the native language of one parent and read basic words in that language.
Hi, my name is Khairun Nissa. Today I will present about theory about language and literacy. Okay, first I will discuss about the language theory. Children language development progress as they get older. There are multiple theories has been proposed to explain the development of language and related brain structure in children. There are 4 theories that will be discussed. The first one is Piaget constructive theory. The second one is Piaget-Sky social interactive theory. The third one is B.F.Skinny behavioral theory. The last one is Chomsky native literacy theory, universal grammar. Okay, for the first theory is Piaget constructive theory. Piaget constructive theory focus on how learning really occurred rather than the drive learning. The importance of teaching cannot be overstated. Instead of lecturing, teacher under this idea act as facilitator, assisting students in their own knowledge. Okay, as we can see here, there are 4 stages of Piaget. The first stage is sensorimotor. The second stage is pra-operational. Third stage is construct operational, and the last stage is formal operational. Okay, for the second theory, Piaget-Sky social interactiveness theory. Social interaction within the home and with competent community member is the key mission that within children occurred behavior and cognitive process that they are relative in their own culture. In this scenario, adult or pair existing as an important asset of the growing process. The third theory, B.F. Skinny behavioral theory. Skinny felt that we indeed have a mind, but that studying observer behavior rather than interact mental activity is just more effective. The last theory is Chomsky native literacy theory, universal grammar. Chomsky believed in the existence of a universal grammar, which states that all humans follow the same set of grammatical principles. However, failed to find brain region or a genetic foundation of human fundamental capacity of communicate. Okay, next for the literacy theory. Literacy is the most successful method to teach youngsters how to read and write. According to education experts, in this theory, we look at 3 popular educational theories: social constructive, maturational, and emergent literacy theory. Okay, for the social constructive theory, basically every interaction or meeting between 2 or more individuals offer the possibility of gaining new knowledge or expanding existing information. The second one is multirational theory. Multirational think that teaching young children to recite the alphabet and count while being patient and waiting for them to be ready for kindergarten is the ideal method since growing and school preparation occurred naturally and organically. Okay, for the third one is immigrant literacy theory. Immigrant literacy theory is defined as the reading and writing behavior that lead to conversational literacy, and it include all of the action, understanding and misunderstanding of learning engaged in experiencing that involve pre-correction or use. Okay, now I will present about the comparison MIA language video and developmental language chart. Okay, first I will discuss about the MIA language video. So after we watch the video that have been provided for us, and we can see that the age and stage is focusing on early year and toddler. Okay, for early year, children with newborn to 3rd month, usually parent will hold children near so that he or she can hear or see your voice. The second one is discuss your activity with your children. Okay, for 4 to 8 months, children use noise and movement to communicate. Around the age of 12 months, children may begin to speak for the first time. In the first year of life, children begin to understand and respond to the speech. Okay, for 9 to 18 months olds, sharing book with your children is a great way to bond. Discuss the photograph. Name the object that your children point to or look at. And the third one is make the same sound your children does. You can also answer with actual word. And the last one is keep book close to your children grasp. Okay, now for the toddler, 18 to 22 months, learning about sound, word and language via reading and storytelling. Second one is reading help them learn about the world by stimulating their creativity. The third one is reading every day allow toddler to select book and reading greedily. Fourth one is book with strong rhyme, rhythm and repetition appeal to toddler. Broad book and thickly book may also appeal to them. The last one is they also allowed a favor, and you should continue to read to your toddler every day. Okay, now for the developmental language chart. For this language, we can see that the stage is around early year, toddler, preschooler and school age. For the first stage is early year. The age is around newborn to 18 months. Okay, for the early year, born to 6 months, it's more focused on intonation and vocalization. React to his name. And the age of 6 to 12 months, children understand basic interaction, especially if they are accompanied by oral and thick cloth. And 12 to 18 months has a vocabulary of between 5 to 20 words. The majority of the vocabulary consists of noun. Now for the toddler, 18 to 24 months, children can name a number of common items in their environment. The second one is able to employ at least 2 prepositions, generally from the list below, in, on, and underneath. For toddler 2 to 3 years, know at least 3 prepositions such as in, on, and beneath. Know the major bodily part and should be able to identify them, if not, name them. Okay, now for the preschooler, 3 to 4 years, children know the name of common animals such as cat, dog. The second one is when giving order, he can employ at least 4 prepositions or show that he understands their meaning. Okay, 4 to 5 years, children can respond to queries about how, who, and when, and follow instruction in up to 4 steps. Okay, for the last stage is school age 6 to 7 years. Children able to understand frasa like similar, different, begin, and so on. And children also should be able to read basic sentence and read or print a large number of words. 7 to 8 years, children start referring to reference book, and reading a lot is something he enjoy.
Hello, my name is Muhammad AMIERUL. Today I want to present literacy and language. About suggest program or activity to support children with early language and literacy. Reading and writing are very important skills in daily life. Those who success master a youngest are usually able to navigate the world of academic and professional career successfully. The general view is the children learn to read and write during preschool and primary 1 only. This statement is true. It is true that children start reading during preschool, but in fact, what happened before that plays an important role in determining how children learn to read and write. Okay. Point 2. Studies show children with good speech and language are better prepared to receive lesson, especially they are better prepared and easier to learn to read and write. Every parent wants to best for their child, and there is much that parents can do to help their children's success in school. Most of this activity can be done by encouraging. What is early literacy skill? Early literacy is all the information about reading and writing that children know before they can read or write. This is early skill can be nurtured by parents when children are in the age range 2 until 5 years. Of exciting way to encourage the development of early literacy skill. Here are some encourage early literacy skill. Be a creative parent. Have fun with because this will lead to excellent success in reading and writing skill for the children. The examples activity is words game, show a little word and rhythmic word. A good example of readings and read with the children. Why to introduce early literacy into 1. Play letter and words game. 2. Children usually find it easier to learn something indirectly. 3. Teaching regular is necessary, but in the early stage it is more appropriate to the games. Okay. The last, learn early literacy concept while having a fun. Okay. For example, what start with the letter P? Among the games that can develop early literacy, a particular letter or sound. For example, we can ask children are encouraged to look around for answer. The answer may be banana or pin. In addition to letters, the initial sound of words can also be used for younger children, and we can ask B, letter B. Answer might be is a ball or book. Emphasize the initial sounds or letters so that children will be sensitive to the internal sound of the word. Okay? There are also words games on the market such. For example, Sahibba, Saidina, Scrabble, Bogle, Upwards. Most of these games now come with a simple version for younger children. This can introduce them to the words of literacy and in an interesting and fun way. Point 2. About discuss appropriate literacy environment for young children. Literacy development is gradual and depend on the exposed children receive trust in involvement of literacy activity as well this influence of the environment. To enable the development of literacy to take place, several factors are seen are principles that enable the development of the emergence of literacy. Among the factors that need to be considered by teachers and parents to help children literacy development are language skill, are of symbol literacy skill, are related to adult support. Literacy is a daily routine. Literacy needs to be planned. Literacy as a tool interact and show off. Point 1. Children literacy start from adult support, from birth and guidance from adult experienced parents and teachers. As they get older, the need for support from adult decreases. Okay. Point 2. Literacy as tool for everyday interaction. Literacy also need to be used as a communication tool in real situation. Okay. Therefore, children need to interact with their peers and those around them. Okay. Point 3 is show examples and positive responses to children. To build literacy skill, children also need to see individuals around them, whether parents or teachers or other children doing literacy activity. Okay. They must see others reading, writing, chatting, to register all in their means.
There are 5 appropriate literacy environment for young children. The first one is conversation. Parents are encouraged to read to their children to help them learn the language and pick up new words. Second, play. It is important to ensure a fun and positive reading and learning experience to maintain children's interests. And third is write. Parents can let their child write or draw letter number, shapes of all of objects they see in the books to help them recognize the character. Number 4 is singing. Parents can sing the poem to their children to increase their awareness and sensitivity to sound in words. And number 5 is read. It is important for parents to read with their children as it develops the vocabulary, comprehension, and general knowledge needed to further improve the ability to read as they grow up older. In our conclusion, language development lays the foundation for the reading and writing skill in children as they enter and progress through their school. Language is needed for all aspects of their education in the classroom as they connect with the peer and teacher.